What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Summer Career Mode. It is episode number 8, the season finale. Hope you guys are doing well. We're wrapping up season 1 today. The title just been won in our last game, but 4 games to go. The record for points in a League 1 season, 103, set by Wolves back in 2014. So today, we're going to see if we can set a new record in League 1. Don't forget, already got a championship points record at 106. It'll be amazing to get the League 1 record as well. Just for our first game away against Carlisle, we've got the final scouting update from England, and I don't know if anyone's going to make the cut. To be fair, Jude Hicks could still be really good. I'm just concerned that the overall continues to be quite low. And as we continue to look for the absolute best players possible, well, we've got Reggie Bond, but unfortunately, I just don't think anyone else is going to make the cut. In fact, you know what? Maybe I will give Jude a deal. Possibly, just because again the potential is so good, but again the overall is so low. And you got to remember when you start, when you got starting a player that's such a low overall, it's gonna take quite a bit of time. I think I'm gonna give Patrick Oakley a deal, but I'm gonna reject everyone else. Yep, stick to that philosophy, man. Creme de la creme. Try not to veer away from it if you can. Just in my opinion, that's the best way to get your best youth players. Right, first game, Carlisle United away, and again 4 points needed in our final 4 games. So 1 win and a draw will do it, or 4 draws in a row. Let's get the first win here and put us on level terms with the points record at 103. Come on, you Royals. You've got to remember, how quickly can you grow a youth player, theoretically? Forget loaning or loan glitching or anything like that. How quickly do you think you can grow a youth player without position changes too? Maybe 6 plus 6 a season at the absolute best when you're using them in your team. And let's say they come out 54 overall. Well, it's going to take them 1 year to get to 60. And then the following year, 66. And then, 3 seasons in, the absolute best LB, again, this is without loading, is 72 overall going into the 4th season. By then, you've probably got far, far better players in your team. And that's why, again, like I said, creme de la creme, stick to that philosophy. Because if they come out so lowly rated, it's just going to take too long, far too long, for them to become a really, really solid player. And by that point, your team and their teammates have probably surpassed them in terms of ability. Anyway, still goalless here as Carlisle clear. I want that win, man. I know we can do it with 4 draws, but I want to start off with a win and equal that record. Nibs with the ball roll. Now, Reggie does really well. Hits Kelvin. Quick ball roll, takes his time, and smashes home the opener. Reggie through to Kelvin, and we know for Smithy, he came back for 1 game and showed us what we might be missing next season. But Kelvin, within this run, where I've banished Smith to the Shadow Realm, has been banging in the goals and showing me that, okay, that Sam Smith absence is going to hurt for next season as one of the top scorers in League 1 this year. But Kelvin's been waiting in the wings all season long for the chance. Now he's getting them in abundance and scoring consistently too. We're going to be alright without Sam, man. Kelvin's ready for the next step. Final chance for Carlisle to stop us equaling the record today. 2 to go. We're almost there. Just got to stay tight defensively. Yes, tackle, and that is going to do it. It's not set yet. We still need 1 point, but from our final 3 games, that should be doable comfortably. We have equalled that Wolves record and we 1 point away. Sometimes I get asked, Doxy boy, how do you find the motivation to play when there's very little at stake, or in some cases, basically nothing at stake? This is it. Look for reasons to play. Individual records, team records, whatever that may be. 1 point away from a new League 1 points record. Yep, following game, Exeter City back in the Medeski. This will be the game where we officially lift the trophy. So if we can set the points record on the same afternoon here in Berkshire as well, now that is the sort of good times that Reading have been waiting to return to after so many years of hardship. Exeter in Berkshire at the Medeski. Trophy to be lifted, and hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, the points record to be set. All we need is to avoid defeat. Let's go do it. Come on, you Royals. So, this year in FC 24, I've been trying to do things a little bit differently to past years in terms of my saves, the teams I use, the players I sign especially. And it's been a year of firsts really for me, doing things for the first time or trying to do them for the first time. I've never started in League 1 before. In all my years on YouTube, never started in the 3rd tier of English football before. Started in the Championship, the Premier League and League 2, but never in League 1. So this is a first for me here. And I don't think I've ever set the points record in League One either. So it's been kind of cool, like FC24 for me, like doing so many things differently and for the first time ever. There's Mukairi, gets a shot away and fires in the opener. And again, I think this would be the first. This is the first time I've ever started in League One. And I think this is the first time I've ever set the points record in the 3rd tier as well. I'm calling it now. We're doing it today. It is hard when you've been on YouTube for so many years and you've done so many saves and so many seasons in those saves throughout so many FC/FIFAs to do things differently and to do things for the first time. But this is, like I said, a new one for me here, starting in the 3rd tier. What a lovely ball, Reggie. And again, it'll be so nice to set that points record for, again, I think the first time ever. So it's always nice when you do it, man. I encourage you guys to do this as well. Keep like a document on your computer, on your PC, on your laptop or whatever, of all the saves you've done and all the seasons you do within those saves, and look at like records that you've done over the years throughout franchises too. It's a great way to see, have I done anything before within this save that I can possibly do again, repeat once again, or can I try and do something for the first time? I really wanted this points record, man. Once it became abundantly clear we were going up, I set my eyes on the championship and I set my eyes on the record. And again, for the first time, we're going to do it today. It is confirmed, no doubt. As Charlie wins it back, and then it's going to be about, you know, how many more points can we get? Again, the record was 103. This win will take it to 106. Can we get to over 110 points? We need to win and draw the final 2, but definitely doable. Let's get a drop to Lewis. Wing that first time half volley. How is it? Oh! What a strike. Not for the first time this season. Absolute beaut. But I did discuss, I think it was the last episode I discussed it. League One goalkeepers at this level, you don't need to be so deadly clinical that it's right in the corner, nor do you need ridiculous Haaland-esque shot power. So long as it's got enough power and enough accuracy to make the keeper work, a lot of the time it's going to hit the back of the net. That's not the greatest strike ever, but it's good enough, you know. First it was promotion, we got it. Then it was the championship, we got it. And then we wanted the record, and we've got it as well. Yep, the best are never satisfied. They're always pushing for the next big thing. Why are the fans like... Why have they got their hands on their heads? Guys, we just won 3-0 in the penultimate home game of the season to wrap the record up. What? Man, they've got to work on the crowd reactions, haven't they, man? We've got some work to do in the summer, no doubt about it, because going up to the 2nd tier, we're a 2.5-star team now, but, okay, fair enough, at this level, more than good enough to go up with a championship, but in the championship next season, we'll need to improve the squad, no doubt about it, man. Like I said, the best, they're never satisfied. Push on to the next thing. I remember listening to an interview with Ben Foster, the former goalkeeper at the Premier League level with Manchester United and West Bromwich Albion and a few different clubs. Of course, finished his career with Wrexham, started a YouTube channel called The Cycling GK, and he talked about when in the mid-noughties Manchester United won the League Cup, and I think it was his first major honour in club football. And instead of his teammates celebrating with the League Cup and taking pictures and so on, they were all fully focused on Tuesday or Wednesday night when he had a Champions League game. He said that was a really poignant moment for him in his career where he realised that was the standard that those players such as Rio Ferdinand and Ryan Giggs had set at Manchester United, is always looking for the next thing to win. And that's the kind of level that, you know, again, possibly you could say was separating Manchester United from other teams around that period of time, what was making them so successful. It's always focusing on the next thing to win. So, yep, great, man. Just won the League One title, gone up with a points record too, but now we're focusing on the next thing. So, just before we dive into our final 2 games, we've got a bid here for Norwich, for Sam Smith. And like I said, man, no one's bigger than the club. Ever since he handed that transfer request in, he's played 1 game, and to be fair, he led a comeback against Stevenage, but no one's bigger than the club. I said I'm prepared to sell him to a bigger club if he wants to go in Norwich in the Championship. 2.25 million, and it looks like he's on his way to Carrow Road. I'm fine with that, man. Once again, I'll say it might have been our top scorer this year, but no one is bigger than the club. Yeah, it's a great story, it really is, and I love that winner's mindset towards Mukairu. We know his loan deal is expiring, and he hasn't come to me and said he wants to extend his stay here. I don't know whether I will bring him back next year. We know he won't have much money to work with, even when that Smith deal goes through. So I don't know whether I want to spend some of that money on Mukairu, bringing him back. He's in his mid-20s, and he's a mid to high 60 overall rated player. I like him, don't get me wrong, I do like him, but... yeah, whether we decide to bring him back or not, I guess we'll see. But from America, we've got one young American goalkeeper in the academy now. And is anyone else going to make it? I'm not too sure. To be fair, there's a lad up there, Ethan Jackson, and also Nicholas Johnson, who could both be alright. It's just that the overalls are just quite low. I might give Nicholas Johnson a scholarship, because the potential is, to be fair, really good. It's just the overall is quite low. I'll give him one, but I'll reject everyone else. But it's the other American we've got in the academy right now that is the best one that we have found. 65 overall, 71 to 91 potential. Really, already 72 reflexes, 70 kicking. Very good indeed. Just need to work on that extremely low positioning. But right now, the best academy prospect, I would say, is definitely JJ, Jonathan Johnson. But I don't know where to play this guy. I mean, physically, he's brilliant. Fantastic strength and jumping as well. And a very aggressive player. But technically, he's all over the place. He's got some okay defensive stats, but looking at this here, I'm wondering maybe, even though the finishing is incredibly low, can we possibly try and make this guy like a pressing forward? I mean, maybe. He's got the height, he's got the strength, he's got the physicality and the jumping as well. I could possibly, again, see this guy becoming a bit of a defense-minded forward in this team. I'm not against doing that. I'll be looking for a striker. Maybe this is the guy. And as we see that Clinton Mola is probably going to join Stoke on a pre-contract. Totally fine with that. Like I said, I was going to let him go on a free anyway come the end of the season. That's what's happening in real life. And finally, a bid is coming for David Button. Long time coming, but it looks as though he's on his way to the cash stand for 270 grand. If I can't sell him, I'm just going to release him because I'm worried he will retire come the end of next season if we don't have him leave the club. And I don't want to pay his wages for the entirety of next season. This year was bad enough. Anyway, our final home game, Derby County at home. The penultimate game of the season. 106 points on the board now, and now I'm targeting getting to 112. If we're going to do that, we need to win back-to-back. Let's get our 3 points here against the Rounds. Come on, you Royals. Extra man in the middle, extra man in the middle. Oh, well, I should have worried about the man carrying the ball first. As Blackett-Taylor fires Derby in front. Been on a great unbeaten run. Haven't lost in the league, again, I think since December. This may well be the first. Just set the points record, but slipping up in the following game. Okay, I've done what I wanted to do. Promotion, championship, and a record too, but don't want to go out losing the final home game. Never a good end to the season, nah. Kyrie to Reggie, slip down the flank. Rolls it inside. There's Smith, given space. And tripped and pen. Definite pen. Cash in with the foul. And a chance for us to level. That's our first penalty won all season long. Harvey to take. And, game management trying to put me off, but it ain't going to work. Bottom left, easy money. Watch this, right into the back of the net. Send the keeper the wrong way. Nope, goes the right way, ain't going to matter. I don't often go for the bottom corner, but I am finding in this year's FC, I don't know if you guys are the same, that pens towards the top corner have less of a success ratio than pens towards the bottom, especially when I'm trying to save them, that's for sure. It definitely feels nowadays that pens, they favour bottoms over tops. It does feel like it's flipped, really. Like back in the day, it seemed as though if you smashed a penalty towards the top corner, it was so hard for the keeper to get there because of the elevation. Whereas if you hit it towards the bottom corner, they'd often get something on it. Whereas now, it appears as though if you hit it towards the bottom corner, it's hard for them to get low down enough. Or if you hit it towards the top corner, they might be able to just about stretch their arm out to get something on it. Anyway, not a win, unfortunately. We could still get to 110, but up to 107 now. The point record being extended, but a slip up there to the Rounds. Say a slip up, they're in second place though, to be fair. Probably going up with us, doesn't feel like a slip up. And as we see that Sam Smith is going to join Norwich in the summer, I'm not worried. I'm okay with that, man. And Mukairu says he does want to come back. He hopes he makes the loan deal a permanent move. I don't know though, man. Like 67 overall. In his early to mid-20s. And he's been solid, man. Don't get me wrong on that left-hand side for us. 12 goals and 8 assists in 39 games. Pretty impressive, to be fair, but I just don't know what his ceiling is. That's the thing. But with the pace he's got and the impact he's had on that left-hand side, put it this way, if I can get him for around 1.5 mil max, I would say, yeah, I wouldn't be against bringing him back, but I guess we'll see. And there has been an approach for Joel Pereira as well. Coventry want to take him to the Rico. And again, I'm all right with that. I'm going to let that happen. Even though he's going to win the Golden Glove, He's okay, Joel Pereira, 67 overall, but we've got that young American lad in the academy, and if he turns 16, I might just throw him straight in, to be fair, and have a major change for next season between the sticks. Anyway, as we see that Mola is going to join Stoke as well, so you're going to see a few deals go through towards the end of the season. Let's see if we can jump in, as Button is going to join Oxford United as well for 270 grand. Let's jump into our final game of the season. It is Port Vale away, 107 points on the board, and I want to see if we can get to 110, which will be the end total we end up with. End tally, and of course a record being extended. Port Vale away, our final game of the season. Come on, you Royals. When I was a kid, my best friend had a Total Club Manager save, and there is a throwback. For anyone of you out there that played Total Club Manager, kudos, man, what a game that was. He had a Total Club Manager save with Port Vale. For just a random reason. I had no connection to the team or anything, just, for whatever reason started using them. And he spent countless hours on the save, turning Port Vale into like the best team ever, featuring all the best players in the game. Michael Owen up top, you had Dennis Bergkamp in there, whatever. And one day he got into like a massive argument with his sister, and we went out to play. And when he came home, he found out that his sister had wiped his Port Vale save off the memory card. And, well, first of all, he never forgave his sister and never got that save back. I can tell you that much. He never forgave his sister for that. All the time he spent turning Port Vale into this world-class team. But now, he always looks out for Port Vale. He always looks out for Port Vale because of that save on Total Club Manager. And I tell you, man, there's something about that when you start using a team on, be it Football Manager or FC career mode, and you build an awesome save with them. You kind of have a soft spot for them in real life when you've done that. Do you know what I mean? I've obviously had so many career modes with so many different teams over the years for YouTube as well, and there's so many teams that before I started saves with them, I had no connection to them, but now I kind of look out for their results. Do you know what I mean? But that's why Port Vale, I'll never forget that man. He had this amazing save file. Unfortunately, wiped by his sister after an argument. Always make peace with your siblings before you leave the house, guys. Man, Total Club Manager, honestly, what a game. What a game that was, man, seriously. And so when people, if you look at some, for those that didn't play Total Club Manager or are a bit too young for it, if you look up some screenshots or gameplay of that game, when people tell me that EA don't have the capacity to make a really good career mode, I reflect back on that was like 20 years ago, and I say, well, obviously that's simply not the case, man. They can make a great manager sim if they want to. It's just up to them whether they decide to or not. Use Total Club Manager as an example, man. That was a hell of a game back in the day. Whilst there's no Michael Owen lining up against me for this one here with Port Vale, we did return to winning ways. We'll wrap the season up with a great unbeaten run and finish on a new record of 110 points in League One. As far as debut seasons go, that was about as good as it possibly could have been. And so, as we take one final look at the league table, as you can see, 110 points, a new record by 7 in the end, eclipsing Wolves is 200. Sorry, 200. Goodness, that's physically possible. 103. Is it? No, definitely not. Come on now. Done and set just over 10 years ago. Bolton come up with us in second place, and the playoffs were Derby, Portsmouth, Oxford United, and Peterborough. I've just got through to the end of that. Actually, the bottom 3 in the end were Cambridge, Burton Albion, Carlisle, and Cheltenham Town. So that's the bottom 4. But as for the playoffs, I've just simulated through, and in the end, it was Portsmouth beating Derby on pens after they beat the Posh, and Portsmouth knocked out Oxford United. I would have quite liked Oxford to go, to be fair, for our local Rise Cup winners, but in the end it's Pompey, play up Pompey, going up via the penalty shootout. As for the individual awards in League One, we saw Smith in the end up finishing second place to Bishop, 3 behind. He would have had it easily. He would have easily had that golden boot had he not handed in that transfer request. I only played him twice after that. Sam, you're the problem, mate. You're the problem. You're the reason why you missed out on that golden boot, bro. You had no reason to hand in that transfer request until you did, man. Why didn't you wait till the end of the season? I'll let you go at the end of the season, no problem. Would have been no bad blood at all. Shouldn't have handed it in halfway through, man. That's your problem, not mine. But Harvey winning the assist title and Joel Pereira golden glove. Again, 28 clean sheets in 46 games. Incredible record. But again, really, I think we'll be alright with that next season. I'm not worried about his departure at all. And for player of the season, it is indeed Harvey Nibbs, who I said would probably win it after winning the assist title as well. But the funny thing about this is, it's League One. Why is Eric Cantona turning up for this? Oh, no event is too small for King Eric, man. The League One Player of the Season award. Listen, if there's money involved, he'll sign up and turn up to do it, man. Eric Cantona giving the Player of the Season award in League One. As for some other competitions, I'll try and be quick with this. EFL Trophy won by League Two Stockport County, and Man City winning the Carabao Cup, beating Liverpool by 2-1 this year. We were, of course, knocked out in the 4th round by Nottingham Forest, but after Millwall pulled off the shock of the competition, beating Liverpool at Anfield 4-2 to make the quarters. They also made the semis, knocking out Fulham as well, but did come up short to Nottingham Forest, who lost to West Ham in the final by 2-1. And as for the European competitions, again, I'll try and get through this quickly. The Conference League was the Dynamo Zagreb Ajax final, where the Dutch side ran out winners by 2-1. As for the Europa League, 2 English sides made the semis, only one made the final, and in the end, Liverpool went all the way to win it, beating Marseille by a 1-0 in the Europa League final. And as for the Champions League, I'll just go from the last 16 onwards for this season. And in the end, as you'll see, it was an English-German final as Man City faced Bayern Munich. And in the end, it was Man City winning by 2-1 for their second CL title. As for other leagues around the world, I'll just do the big 5 European leagues, plus I'll do the EFL Divisions too. We see the bottom 3 in the end will be facing Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United, just like in real life, dropping down to the Championship for next season. However, we won't be facing Leeds or Leicester, as they were the top 2. Middlesbrough, Stoke, Southampton and Norwich are in the playoffs in the second tier for next season, and we won't be facing Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday or Huddersfield. And as for League 2, Stockport won the EFL Trophy and League 2 itself. Wrexham and Salford both are in the playoffs. Barrow, Accrington Stanley, Crewe Alexandra and Walsall as well. I always find it interesting to see who was bottom of the Football League in the season. In the end, it was Crawley Town. No shocks for Ligue 1. Paris Saint-Germain winners by 4 points, with Monaco in second, Lens in third, and Olympique Marseille in fourth this season. Kane's wait for silverware goes on. Runner-up in the Champions League final, runner-up in the Bundesliga, 6 behind RB Leipzig, who win the Bundesliga title this season. Lazio winners of the Serie A this year, with Juve in second, Roma and Napoli, the other teams in the top 4, Inter and AC Milan, both in 5th and 6th. Have you guys seen that for FC25, no Inter or AC Milan licensing? That is so frustrating, man. I mean, the Serie A obviously has a lot of licensing issues with, again, Lazio and Atalanta, and no real kits for Roma as well. It's frustrating. They're also losing the 2 big Milan sides as well. Like, Serie A Carimos could be so much more fun if the licensing was there. And so when people have been asking me about whether I'm excited with 2K looking to make a football game, I keep on saying the same thing. Like, unless they've got the licensing, playing on console, as Barca win the La Liga, playing on console is not going to be that fun. Because if they haven't got the licensing, I'm sorry, but Manchester Red, Manchester Blue, Arsenal Red, Arsenal White, London Blue, London White, London Red, so on and so forth. It's going to get old quickly, And so to me, I know I said I was going to do a top 5 European leagues, but to me, that's the issue really. Licensing plays such a big part on the appeal of a management sim or game, if you will. And a couple more departures as well, as Pereira will join commentary and Harley Dean is off to France for a small fee as well. I have to say, for next season, I don't think we'll have enough players for a full squad. I think the game might just have to allocate us some free agents. And we've just seen 4 players do have their deals that come at the end of the year. Those are Michael Craig, Abrifa, Carson and Rashesha as well. Now, we had Tivonge back in our Newport County club and country. That was when he was eligible to represent Wales. I don't know what his ceiling is though in this save, so I'm going to let him go. Carson, the same, just too lowly rated, I'd say. But as for Matthew Craig, I'm not sure. I might give him a new deal. I'll think about it, but I definitely will give one to Kelvin Abrifa. He played a lot of games for me this season and was pretty solid when stepping in for Andy at right back too. Up 4 rank 65 overall. I'm not sure about the other 3, but Kelvin, he's definitely staying. And I want to see this as well. Johnson, we're going to change the position of the young DM in the academy that's so lowly rated but has really good potential. When you find a player like this, really it's dealer's choice for where you can play them. When the physical stats are decent, but the technicals are awful, practically all over the place. Really, at this low age, you can play them wherever they want. So he's going to go up 2 ratings to striker, but really, wherever we changed him to, he might have like a +1 or a +2. The stats are just so low technically to really worry too much about where you played him. The most important thing is just deciding as early as possible where you want their future to lie. For me, I'm going to turn him into a striker. Yeah, sure, terrible finishing to begin with, but the great strength, the great heading, the great jumping, and at 6'1" too, I think this guy could be a physical beast in the future. And so, as we take one final look at the squad to end Season 1, I've got to be honest, for next season, I briefly touched on it earlier, but I think there's a genuine chance we might get some free agents allocated because, well, we're going to lose several players. Firstly, Mikari's returning from his loan spell. Pereira's going to join Coventry on a free. Craig and a brief have just signed new deals, but Sam Smith is going to go, so that's free already. Button's going to go, Dean is going to go, Carson's going to go, Mola's going to go, and Rashesh is going to go. So, yeah, we're not going to have enough for a full first-team squad, let alone reserve. So I think for next season, we will see a couple of freebies allocated to us. So I'll keep you posted on who those end up being. I mean, I'd love it if it was like someone in like the mid-70s, but let's just say I'm doubtful we'll get that kind of luck. But you never know, right? You never know. We might get a bit of luck for the new season with the free agent allocation. I guess we'll see. But running through the squad for one final time then. Again, for Joel Pereira, I was tempted to give him a new deal. I know he had a 1-year extension triggered in real life, but he might have won the Golden Glove. But again, really, he didn't. It's like he had like amazing saves and amazing performances. And of course, don't forget, we're going to get Andreasen coming back from loan, who's only 3 ratings lower, but several years younger as well. Plus, I like the look of Kanaya Boyce Clark as well. Guinness Walker's coming back from his loan spell from Stevenage too, as Clinton Mola and Carson, the other left backs, are going to go. Harley Dean, as we know, is off to France as well. I'm not sure what I'll be doing with Mbenge for next season onwards. He's only got 1 year on his deal after this one. He's a decent youngster, but obviously since we had Haynes come through the academy and change him to CB. I didn't use Amadou much, but I don't mind him as a squad player, so I might give him a new 1-year extension. I guess we'll see. Tyler Binden grew 3 ratings for us this season, up to 69 overall. 40 games out of 46 in the league. Got an assist as well. I don't remember that, but even so, I have said I definitely see this guy being future club captain here, although for next season, Andy will keep it at right back. Again, for Owen Haynes, as you can see, 11 clean sheets and 15. I said when we put this guy in the first team, he slotted into the first 11 seamlessly. Also grew 4 ratings, 2 of which through the position change, but even so, up to 66 overall. Whether he's good to start enough in the Championship next season at 66 overall, or whether we need another new centre-half, I guess we'll see. But in League One, certainly more than good enough, and growing 4 ratings was nice as well in limited game time. I'm hoping it'll have a potential upgrade due to the good form, but I guess we'll find out. Again, Big Andy grew a rating despite the fact he's now in his early 30s, and he'll still be club captain for next season. I'm also hoping that he will decide to retire at the end of next season. He's up to 68 overall. That's more than good enough to be a starter in this team, but listen, this is a rebuild, right? So, of course, we want a couple of senior players here, but if he decides to hang them up coming the end of next season, I'd quite like that personally to help the transition become more seamless, given the captain's armband to Bindham. A briefer up 4 ratings, so I think I might start him over Andy for next season. I started a briefer a lot more in the second half of the season, the first half of the season. He got me a goal, 2 assists, 10 clean sheets and 29, not too bad. Up 4 ratings to 65 overall as well, but of course the big star of the youth players this season, coming through the academy, Reggie Bond, up 3 to 71 overall. It's such a shame that he missed 3 months worth of football because of that broken toe. He had a rating taken away from him. I think he would have ended up 72 or possibly even 73 had he not had the injury, but 1 goal and 3 assists in 28 games. What's the most impressive? 21 clean sheets in 28. When this guy was in the back line, we were so solid defensively. He's now got the high work rates we were looking for. I would have improved the pace and the standard. That's still a little low for my liking, but this guy, at just 18 years old, is the future of the Medeski Stadium. We didn't get much luck for the youth scouting this season, but this is all the luck I wanted, man. I would love to see the potential go up for next season, but I think it will probably remain that exciting prospect due to that broken toe. Lewis Wynn grew our ratings to 70 overall, 5 goals and 11 assists, and played every single one of our League One games. This guy was our most consistent player all year long, man. And the main reason why is because the stamina was good. 81 stamina means he's got the best energy in the entire team. And this is what I mean, man. When you're playing at a lower level, energy and stamina is just so important. It's why physicality is so important in the lower levels, especially the high stamina as well. If you can find a player that's got really good stamina, they can be worth their weight in gold, knowing they'll barely need to be rested when you've got so many games coming midweek. Charlie, son of Robbie Savage, of course, at 3 ratings of 68 overall, still maintaining one of our starting DM slots alongside Lewis Wing as well. Whether he will for next season or not, I guess we'll see. I'm not sure what his potential is, to be fair, now 21 years old, but if I can get this guy into the mid-70s, I'm more than happy keeping this guy around for the long term. Craig's just signed a new deal, by the way. I did say I wasn't sure if I was going to give him a new contract or not. He submitted a transfer request, but now I can remove it. I can't. What? So we can give him a new contract. So we can give him a new contract, but he still wants to stay. What? Make your mind up, son. Do you want to stay here or not? You could have left on a free and gone wherever you want. And what? So he refuses to stay, but he signs a new contract. Make it make sense. I don't fully understand that one, but fair enough. As for Mukaira, we briefly touched on this earlier. I don't know whether he'll bring him back for the new season or not. I'd like to, but I think it's all going to depend on what our starting budget is for the new season and how much Copenhagen would be willing to part ways for him for. If I can get him for, again, around 1.25 to 1.5 mil, I'll probably bring him back, because with the pace he's got at this level, it's really handy, and the stats speak for themselves. He was one of our best players this season, but it all depends on how much the Danish side want for him for the new season. Ben Elliott out of the Chelsea Academy only went up 1 to 62 overall. I'm not sure whether he'll stay for the new season. But as for Harvey Nibs, player of the season in League One, as recognised by King Eric Cantona. That is hilarious, man. 17 goals and 14 assists in 45 League One games. Only missed a one game in the league all season long. And again, won the assist title and was also in, I think, the top 10 for scoring as well. What a player, man. It's so frustrating. He's grown 3 ratings, but he's got some holes on his attributes. Yeah, sure, he's 25 years old. It's not like he's like at 18 or 19, but come on, EA, man. This guy is still getting better, and I'm hoping that for next season he can restart his growth, because I see this guy being a big part of our future, if not always starting, at least being part of the squad. Kamara grew 2 ratings, mainly just came off the bench for Harvey Nibs, really, but a decent player to bring on, either on the wing or through the middle. As for Femi Aziz, up 4 ratings to 71 overall. Out of the young players we inherited here, I'd say he's possibly, alongside Bindon, the second best player we inherited. 10 goals and 10 assists in 41 games. He scored 2 in 3 cup games as well, including the goal of the season against Nottingham Forest, and he's still getting better despite growing 4 ratings to 71 overall. I'm not sure his potential is, but I'm hoping it'll be around the mid to the high 70s, and with dynamic potential, we might be able to scrape 80 with him. Technically, he's alright, but physically, he's pretty solid as well, with great agility and pace as well. But I really like this guy, that left foot on that right hand side. So Femi's still growing, and we love to see it. We know that Sam, our top scorer, he'll be leaving to Norwich in the summer. To be honest, to get 2.25 million for him, I'll take it. Like I said, no one's bigger than the club. After he handed out transfer request, we ruined his chance of winning the league on Golden Boot. Petty Docks, the petty king, the petty gaffer. But yeah, I don't care. Sorry, Sam, but you don't request a transfer when we're going for the title and it's midway through the season. Unprofessional. But Kelvin stepped in his absence, got 12 goals and 10 assists in 30 games. And like I said, man, Sam might have been our top scorer this year, but I guess there'll be a new top scorer next season, and maybe it will be Kelvin, I guess. We will see. But that'll do it for today's episode and the season finale, guys. So big fan watching the finale of Season 1 and Season 1 as a whole. If you've enjoyed it, then please do drop a like. Much of you all have a fantastic day. I will return in the next episode with a brand new season, our second year at the Medeski. Going into it, I've got no idea what our team is going to look like. With all of the departures, we might get some free agents allocated. I'm not too sure. We might not. I think we will, but I'll keep you posted on who those are regardless. But we'll also be interested to see what our transfer budget is. We're working with no funds whatsoever. We couldn't make a single signing this season. What is the budget going to be like for next season? We're selling Button, we're selling Dean, and we're getting quite a bit of money for Sam Smith as well. Fingers crossed we'll get around 5 million plus for the championship. I guess we will see. Have a great day though, guys. Much love, and thank you for watching Season 1 as a whole. And I'll see you for a brand new season, Season 2, our first year in the championship at the Medeski Stadium of Reading for next season very soon.